Just like we usually go like.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Monday night, Massetti and friends. We're one man down tonight. Trev's doing some pre-graduation stuff, I believe. Uncle Steve, Uncle Kev, James, thanks for being here.
Hey guys.
How's everybody doing?
Great. Good.
Doing good.
Good.
How about you?
I'm good, thanks. We're all in our normal spots. James found a new hangout tonight.
New classroom. Yeah.
New
I think this is going to be my classroom for a while.
Okay, cool.
Good classroom.
Good. So, well, we had a pretty awesome pool Friday night, Chowchilla, our season opener. Thank everybody for coming out. We had a great turnout of vehicles. John and Brad and the guys all worked hard on the track all day. So I think that was a positive for the whole event. Sorry, we're getting our IT stuff all dialed in here. Anyways, great showing. All the vehicles, the whip still was kind of sucking swamp water, but we're going to get that fixed. James laid down a very respectable pass in Yellow Fever. Old Trev, not even here to celebrate, but he was a big winner in the limited pro class. So,
Yep.
All in all, great event. I couldn't have asked for it to go any better to kick off our season. Next weekend is coming Sunday. We're headed up to Chico. We'll talk more about that a little later. But tonight, our guest, Chris Turner. Chris and I have kind of been messaging for a little bit, trying to get him on, and it worked out good. This date worked for him because he happened to be a big winner from our Chowchilla event. So I will bring Chris in with us. Chris, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Chris.
Look forward to getting to know you a little bit better. So why don't you just start? Tell us who you are and where you come from, if you don't mind.
My name's Chris. I drive a 5500 street mod truck we call the Hulk. Grew up in Fresno, Clovis area most of my life. I live in Turlock the last 10 years. Been pulling for about 3 years. I think the first one I went to was into 2022. So not too long, but having fun.
Awesome. You said you grew up in Fresno, Clovis area?
Yeah, I grew up in Fresno, Clovis area.
Where'd you go to high school?
Bullard when I was there.
Okay.
When I showed up.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I
have a feeling you're a little younger, but right. And Brian and I went to high school in Fresno as well, but I don't think it was at the same time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Class of 01.
Yeah, definitely not the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm class of 01.
Not too far off. You said you're 01 also, Kev?
Yeah,
Nice.
Madera.
James, we're not even going to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So, Chris, if you don't, are you married?
I'm not.
Not. Okay. Good. Sometimes that's safer. More time for the pool truck.
Are you looking? Because we might be able to
No,
hook
I've
you up.
been with the same one for 10 years, just not married.
All right.
Okay. Oh, well,
That's good
fair
to know.
enough.
Close enough.
We won't.
Yep.
We won't push that issue tonight then. No. What do you do? Tell us what you do for work when you're not working on your pull truck.
We grow almonds and walnuts. We do custom harvesting, sweeping, managing. I'm in charge of all the equipment. So I pretty much work on equipment all year. If I'm not doing that, I'm working on one of my trucks or my pull truck or something else somebody's brought by or stuff like that.
Is this a family operation?
So it's I moved. Met somebody, moved here to Turlock, so she's also my boss.
Well,
yeah. So,
that doesn't change. So
Some of us are in the same boat. Don't worry.
Yeah. I work for the family, so sometimes it's 7 days a week. Never really stops.
Yep.
Very nice. And so you said that your first pull was in 2022?
Into 2022, I think it was Denair. I made it there. I built the truck, was kind of having some issues I was trying to work out. Ended up making Denair. It was cold that night. We pulled really late. Didn't have much heat in the engine. The wind was blowing. It was foggy. All those excuses, and it just it didn't run right. So it didn't go too well. But then I worked all winter. Changed a bunch of stuff. And then 2023, I went out and pretty much every pull, I just tried something different, something new every time. Wrote it down on a piece of paper and to see what worked and what didn't, and went from there.
it's good that it didn't work out that well the first time, because that motivated you to work all winter. You walk out there and win, you just rest on your laurels. So
Too easy.
No offense, but I'm glad that worked out that way.
I've had some guys. I've had guys, give me advice and stuff, and I'm not one to ask a ton of questions because I know people put a lot of work and time into figuring their setups out, and I don't want to be that guy that, hey, what do I do here? What do I do there? But like John Bohr, he's offered me a bunch of advice when I've needed it. William Bailey, Garrett Hauser, those guys have all given me pointers here and there. So
It's good.
Well, some of those guys, you got to be careful. Take their advice with a grain of salt, because some of those guys are full of shit.
Yeah. But John doesn't know where a distributor is supposed to go, so I got to take his.
I wasn't going to mention any names, but since you did, so you've had the Hulk for a while.
I bought it probably 15 years ago,
Okay.
and it was a daily driver. It had a 390 in it, 4-speed. I had the disease that a lot of us have, where I can't leave anything stock. I was putting a cam in it one day, and the cam bearings were just flaking apart. So I thought, well, might as well pull the engine out. There it is, and build a new engine for it. And that one I drove for quite a long time. Really, all I did was, there was daily driver. I'd take it up to Bass Lake, Shaver, all up around there, and just drive the forest roads and stuff, and go hunting and stuff like that. But really, all I did was cam, heads, not a lot, and then went pulling with it.
So is it still a 390? Is that what you said?
It was a 390 until this winter, and now it's still a 390 block, but it's got a little more bore and stroke in it now.
Okay. Is this the current engine? This nice, pretty blue one in there?
No, that was the last. That was the last engine. Yeah.
Cool. Very nice.
And so was this last weekend your first run on the new engine?
This year, yep.
That's great.
It ran good. I was telling somebody else. I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't pulled for a while. I don't remember the blue sled hitting as hard as that red one did. That was the first time I pulled a red sled. But man, I thought I was taking that thing home, and then that thing hit, and it said, "No, you're not."
Yeah, that's how that sled works.
Yeah,
Feels like that.
but it ran good. So
No, I did, and you came home with a first place, if I understand it correctly,
Yeah.
by a fair margin.
like 30 feet. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All it takes
A
is
lot
an
of
inch.
people had. I think everybody pretty much had a good run that night. Some better than others, but everybody. Trevor had a hell of a pass.
He did.
The whip, Chip and Aries tractor made a hell of a pass.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of good ones.
You know, one that I was watching from the other side, but I saw a video. It was Trent Powell driving the American Contender, and which is a badass truck, but he laid down an awesome pass.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah, that's neat to see.
I feel like I don't make it to nearly as many pulls as I would like to because of work, but I feel like where I pull, Chowchilla is probably one of the best tracks. I feel like.
For sure.
It was a great track this week too.
And they did a hell of it. John and Brad and William Bailey was there helping all day. Matt we used to go to MJC, and then we just kind of recruited him, and he comes and helps. And then all the Cal Poly team and MJC team members that helped us hooking and unhooking. It just, you're right, that track was pretty bitching.
I underestimated. I thought it was going to be slick, but it was pretty tight.
Didn't it used to be a real sandy track, Brian?
No, Chowchilla used to be a dirt oval. And Joe chiming in. He was actually announcing for us Friday because we weren't sure if Dad was going to be up to it. But he's back. So, no, it used to be a dirt oval that they leveled. So it's always been typically pretty good. But now we got plenty of room to just let them stretch out and run a little bit.
That's great.
Yeah. So, no, it definitely took the horsepower. While we're talking about that, just a little shout out to a couple guys. Well, Chris, we talked about, won the 5,500 pound street mod class. Good old Steve Milanesio swept the 74 and the 6,000s. But I do want to say Paul Barcelos was on one hell of a pass. He was the first puller in the class, and he was flat moving, but he moved right over the left line, so that's a disqualification. But when you're the first puller, you have the option to drop that pass and come back. So they did. We had 6 in the class, so that gave them, 15, 20 minutes to let it cool down a little bit. And he came back and he laid down another good pass. Not quite enough, but of course, the first puller in the class, I think you have a little better track. You get those other 5 out there tearing it up. We're trying to put it back, pack it in, but still. But anyways, Paul he's getting a handle on that tractor. It's neat to see because we need that. So, it'd be neater if we were beating him, but whatever.
Yeah, that was real neat, his pass.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so Steve did take those 2 classes. Bob Morrill in the Pro Mod class went out and kind of put a hurting on him. That's the second pass on this brand new motor.
Bodacious is back.
Yep, it is.
For sure.
And then, of course, I think Rags and Triple Throwdown were second and third, so they were first and second the weekend before. We talked about Trevor with his limited pro pass. I think he only beat Tyler by a couple feet.
3 feet, I think.
Was it 3? Okay.
Yeah.
That class is also tough. Ross
Saw some
Mulrooney
flames coming out from underneath the hood when he was after the pass. Is everything good or?
Yeah, I haven't started it yet, but it looked like it was just coming from one of the, around the injector line, but they're all good and tight. So I think it's those little, I don't know if they're returns or whatever, the little bleed off things. Yeah, I mean, it was a small fire, so we don't get too worried about those. But,
First place fire.
First place fire.
First place fire.
It's called
We mentioned
victory
Trent
fire.
Powell laying down that pass, and then it was actually Bradley Chippenary driving Brent the Green Energy, which is kind of cool. We got a senior and a junior in high school there making awesome passes. Manuel Vieira was driving the work stock for the DSS truck, and he kind of laid one down. And then I think Dean Anrig was out there pretty close too in that class. So, but all in all, just good competition, great passes. I didn't really see anybody have a shitty pass. I mean, aside from us, but they were.
I could think of one.
Yeah, but anyway, for the most part, everybody ran good. I didn't see anybody really tear anything up, which is nice.
How many hooks do you have that night, Brian?
I think it was 41. So decent amount, but it was all good stuff. Everything was good. So yeah, no complaints about that. Chris Daniels trying to sweeten the pot for us a little bit.
Oh, we'll take that. We'll take all we can get. We got plenty of drivers.
I mean, I think Uncle Kev or
they're worried about James and
No.
No, but hell, one of us could get in there, I guess. And
no
get our
love
ass
for Uncle
kicked.
Kev, I guess.
Get Uncle Steve in there.
Yeah, get Uncle Steve in there.
I'll make it to a poll this year.
Good. We got plenty of them coming up.
Yeah.
To put you back in the feeve.
Yeah.
I think there's 15 more pulls for the pro modified pickups this year.
That's great. That's a pretty good season, Brian.
Yeah. I'll let you know in August, September if it's really that good or not. But
all right, fair enough.
Well, Chris, do you have any questions for these guys? Anything pulling or otherwise related? Hell, you can ask anything.
I don't think so. I didn't prepare anything.
Well, that's why I didn't give you that
That's a
option
tough one,
beforehand.
Yeah.
You know, I like to put people on spot. You guys
Can
have
we go back
anything?
to, like, Chris, how did you, I mean, you said you started pulling in 2022, but did you go to polls when you were a kid, or how did you kind of get involved?
A lot of you guys, well, I guess my great grandfather didn't pull the wheels off the buggy and try to see how far he could drag it like a lot of you guys, but I've been to pools here and there. I correct me if I'm wrong. Did they ever have them at the Selland Arena, an indoor one there?
Oh yeah.
I seem to remember that when I was pretty small. They had them at the Fresno Fair a long time ago.
That's where I drove the first time. I think Brian, you probably did too, right?
I believe so. Yes.
And actually, when you said Selland Arena, I was thinking of the Cow Palace in San Francisco or Oakland, whatever it was.
They had an event. I don't remember who put it on, if it was West Coast Diesels or who it was, but down in Famoso, they had the diesel drags, and then the pull after it. And then here, living in Turlock, I'd go to the fair every year and watch. And Denair, I've been to Denair every year and watched. And I guess I got tired of sitting there saying, "Man, I want to do that. I want to do that every year," or every time I'd say I want to do that. And so, but I didn't know who MLM was or any of the promoters, and I didn't know where the rules were. And I posted some videos on Facebook. Somebody, I think, tagged John Moore and messaged him, "Hey, I got this kind of truck. Where do I find the rules?" He said, "Oh, that's a perfect platform to start out with. If you have any questions, let me know." And I pretty much went from there.
That's cool.
That's great. You didn't know any pullers before that.
I didn't. No. Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome.
So
Awesome.
Jumped right
anybody
in.
watching, if you're just sitting there in the stand saying, "I want to do that," go do it.
Chris had a truck to sell you.
He's John's asking if you're ever going to go up in classes, and if so, what class?
Ultimately, I think I'd love to pull like 6,000 super stock, but then I watch like Lomaducci or Black Magic or those guys, and I'm like, holy crap, that ain't gonna happen. So I'll be here for a while.
They always say that.
Yeah.
You got
Well,
plenty of time.
Usually it seems like street mod or street is a pretty decent sized class no matter where we go. I feel like locals can come out and do that. When you get into super stock, then you there's limited amount of people that do that when you're traveling around. So I don't know. I feel like the street is kind of usually a decent sized class, and I like the competition.
Yeah, for sure. What I think we already covered this, but it's a 390 still, right?
It's a 390 base. Now it's 447 cubic inches. So it's
Bored and stroked.
Yeah, it's a 4090 bore, 4 1/4 stroke.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Still smaller than a big block Chevy, but it runs pretty good.
Let's
So
say
it
so.
matters. Yeah. That was a Chevy that you beat the other night, wasn't it?
Dodge.
Oh.
The resurrection.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You guys have any other questions for Chris? Anybody out and sitting at home have any questions? Let us know. I am going
I would
to
ask
jump
what Chris
to,
was drinking, but I don't think Chris is drinking right now.
Not yet.
Did they not tell you could drink on the podcast? Because you can.
No, nobody told me that.
Okay.
definitely-
Oh,
next time.
sorry. Yeah.
Not only you can, you kind of should, but it's fine.
Hey,
It's
I
fine.
know you've watched a few times and you've seen both of them clowns drinking.
No.
So.
I usually watch. Yeah, it's usually better than what's on TV.
That's good to hear.
Sometimes.
Yeah, he did not say always.
Yeah, usually. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, this weekend we are taking the show to the Silver Dollar Fair in Chico. They are running 3 nights of sprint cars, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we will be there Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Their scales and registration will be from 1 to 5. And we do ask everybody to please pre-register if you're going to be there. That makes life a lot easier for all of us. And I talked to the racetrack people today. I'll post these on our pages later, but this is a map of their fairgrounds. This red X is the pit entry gate, and right here behind this race team little block is a Tractor Supply. So if you put in your GPS to go to Tractor Supply in Chico, it'll take you right to the driveway. Just turn across from Tractor Supply, take you right into the pit area. It is Martin Luther King Parkway that we will be on, and then this is East Park Avenue. Do not try to enter from the front sides because we can't get there. Don't worry about this. Gates open at 2 p.m. We'll be there in the morning. We are actually some of us are going up Saturday night. We can park in the pits. So if you want to park there and go to a hotel, that all works. So that is where we are headed. And looking forward to that. I know when I was in high school, we went up there. It's obviously been a long time, but looking forward to it. And we are on the front stretch of the track. So again, we should have some good dirt to work with. They're excited to have us come up there. And of course, we're looking forward to there.
It was 30 years ago, Brian. You were in high school.
Thanks, Steve.
I remember being there too. I wasn't even in high school.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything about the age, but Steve's going to be 50 this year. So
That's true.
Dang.
Whatever.
It's a pretty serious year. So
Yeah, pretty big year.
yeah.
Real quick, I'd also like to give a shout out to our series sponsors. Reeve Trucking, the pro modified class sponsor. Kane Trucking is the 7,400 pound modified tractor class. Pacific Tractor Pullers Association, CNG Farms, our very own Madera Blinds and Shutters, and Pool Foreman's Fabrication have all stepped up to sponsor the series. And so all the pullers in our 6 classes involved in the Pacific Power Pulling Series appreciate your support. So thank you guys, and all.
Brian, you didn't even
there's
ask me. You didn't even ask me for a sponsorship.
Steve, do you want to
Steve?
sponsor a thing?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm offended or not.
Yeah, you probably should ask
Oh.
Steve, dude. It's not too
Sorry,
late.
Brian. Sorry, Brian. You can get back to your message.
Massetti Consulting is our new
Top tier
limited
sponsor.
pro stock class sponsor. Steve, I'll just send you an invoice.
Yeah, do it.
So, anyways, this series hopefully is going to take off pretty well. It's exciting what I think we've got going. Guys are getting interested in it, and we'll get a little sponsor money, and we'll keep growing that deal, and we'll keep including classes. So that is that. Chris, I do want to ask. So you've been at this 3 years or so. Is there anything you see from your perspective that can be changed or improved, either about the process or?
I was telling somebody else not too long ago. I find it hard to complain about anything because I've helped out with events over the years, fundraisers, and I helped put on a dirt drag race in LaGrange the last 3 years, and I feel like once you're on that side of it, you know how difficult it is to wrangle all the people, the track. You're trying to put on a show in a certain amount of time. It's a lot of work and a lot of stress, and I know that. All your shows all seem to go really smooth. Only thing I could say is anything that you can do to get the fans involved, the people in the stands. I don't know what the best way to do that is. I don't know how to tell you to, but any way that I'm guilty of it sometimes too. Other pullers, we should all write something down in a little box to describe our truck or tractor for the announcer to read it off. Just stuff like that. Try to get so it's more to them than just a truck or a tractor going from one end of a track to another and then they're gone.
Yeah, I really appreciate the comment about you've done this because I've heard a lot of promoters say if pullers tried to put on one pull, they would see things a lot differently.
That is 100% true.
Yeah, but and then the other thing you said about putting more in that entry form, that's something Dad has said a number of times is, there's not that, they don't put enough information, but then on the other hand, you get one or two guys that not only fill out the online deal, but give us a whole printed page about sponsors and everything else. They don't have time to read that much, but we could find a happy medium. And
got to find that in between.
Downtime. Yeah, if, a little extra information, they may not be able to get to all of it, but if there is something there, then he can at least have something to go off of when there's, when he has time to talk about it.
Yeah. Anything you can do to get the people up in the stands to kind of relate to what we're doing, or I know I can't tell the announcer what to do either. That's a tough job too, especially when you're running more than one sled.
No, but you got a story like you told us tonight. This was my daily driver. I had it for 15 years and started driving it with the same 390 I had in it. And this year you've upgraded by boring stroking. That type of thing, people can relate to that. It's a good point.
Yeah.
To that point, we should also maybe think about refining the form so it's like a fun fact section instead of just
that's a good idea.
Color, cubic inch, it's kind of
nice.
It's
Good
all
idea.
very
Fun fact line.
structured right now. Yeah.
I feel like you also kind of don't need to tell people the color usually.
Well, that's more just to figure out
there might be some colorblind people out there. You can't discriminate.
That's true.
Well, but actually the reason that's in there, the reason the color is there, that doesn't get announced, but it's so that when they're looking and it'd be like in a stock diesel class.
Yeah, the announcer can see who's coming. Yeah, that makes sense.
From the announcer's booth, they may look out and not, depends on where they are, but not know if that's what model it is. But if it says it's a green truck and a blue one or a red one's coming on the track, then they know, oh shit, we got the wrong paper.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
That's more for our side.
I was more just teasing James about it.
Yeah, but
Point taken.
Chris' mom just came in and she said that's a great idea, so she's going to work on that. So
I think everybody loves your electronic signs at the end of the track, and everybody loves how fast the results are posted too. Because most of the time, driving, you don't even know what you ran, or so.
Those signs are real time, right, Brian?
Yeah.
Yes, the sled is sending it as soon as the sled stops. It's counting up as it goes, but yeah, it's there.
That's awesome.
Those are cool.
That got us this time, James.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. I looked up and I saw the whip. It said 375 feet, and I said, "Shit, we didn't go past 300." But
we
saw that. We saw
give
that
a little
too.
context. Yeah, I think Steve Melanesia went 354 something, and we were going. I was standing at the end of the track, and just watching the scoreboard, and it went to 374. So I was all pumped up. I went over to give him a high five, and I looked next to me, and I was like, "It's weird that the 300-foot sign is right there.
Who moved this sign?"
Yeah, he must have set the sled way further back, and then found out that we actually went like 298, not
But we
370.
had like 20 seconds. Me and Trevor and James, we were like, yeah,
Over the
we
moon.
did it.
Yeah.
And then we all kind of went like, oh shit, back to reality.
Really killed the mood. But
Yeah, well, sorry guys. But the funny thing is, it was just that board was wrong because the reader up in the booth and the reader in the sled were at the two less than 300, whatever it was. But
yeah,
anyway,
'cause
I don't
then
know that one board.
The kid with the headphones down, maybe the flagman.
yeah,
I saw him talk to Trevor, and Trevor, I just saw him go like oh, shit.
yeah.
Oh,
Shit happens.
Was that the only pull it did that on?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's a pretty fun prank to pull on.
yeah, that was a great prank.
If I could
Yeah.
figure it out, I'd redo it, but I can't. So
I mean, at
I'd
least
rather that.
instead of being disappointed the whole time, we had a little bit of joy.
Well, that's what I said. Like, we were so pumped for 20
yeah.
seconds, maybe. Felt
They
pretty
should have just
good.
not told us. Let us live a little bit for a while.
Let those guys believe that.
Kevin's
Anyways.
standing there waiting for his trophy.
Yeah.
Those
Hey,
signs, though, that was probably the coolest in Madeira when I knew how far we went, and then we were all standing there watching Steve go,
Yeah.
and I
that
was
the
just
best.
watching the sign. I mean, I think we all lifted off the ground 10
Oh,
feet
yeah.
yeah.
because it is
They're
a
cool.
real time.
I
Works
think I
like
kissed
that.
a couple babies.
Yeah,
It was pretty
you
crazy.
punched me right in the stomach. I didn't think that
Yeah.
was called for.
Yeah. No, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna go back to Sam's question here. We don't have any. Chris, did anybody get a video of your pull? Is it on any of your Facebook or anything?
It's on my personal Facebook. Yeah.
So Sam, if you check out Chris Turner on the Facebook, and it'll be there. So
Yeah.
um,
Hi,
I
Sam.
didn't send you any. Yeah.
also, Uncle Steve, Paul appreciates your sponsorship. So I guess
I'm happy to help, Paul.
Paul,
Yeah.
Steve's gonna have the biggest sticker at the top above you guys.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let's not get carried
Yeah.
away, Kevin.
No, we'll go right at the top.
Steve, we can do that. So
Oh, I'm sure we could.
yeah.
I mean, you got to pay for it. Like, that's not free.
No, I'm well aware of how that works.
Yeah. It'll cost you a little more than it cost Paul and the Reeve family, but don't worry about
Of course.
it. It's no big deal. You can write it off.
It's worth it,
Joe
Steve.
said the color does help. I don't know what point you made, James, but they've all been good.
Thanks.
Good point. Good point.
Oh shit! I should have read that before I put it up. But
You never know what you're going to get with him.
It is very true. So, anyways, if nobody has any more questions or anything for Chris, I think we'll turn it over to James, and this is where we do a little Facebook marketplacing.
See if I can get it. Hang on here.
We got time.
And Paul, I don't think I can compete with that, but
That work?
We'll work on it. Yep, we see
yeah,
it.
we got you.
Sweet. Well, this is a picture from the Fine Ass Friday.
Mm.
And,
Which I want to thank everybody for partaking in that, and I think we
Yeah,
will
that's
try to
fun.
do that every Friday because that's fun.
yeah. So, anyways, this is the 31st edition of our little Facebook Marketplace game. Chris, I'm pretty sure you've watched the show before, so you have a pretty
I
good
have.
idea of how this works. But for those who haven't seen it, I am going to go through and show everyone a series of Facebook Marketplace listings, and everyone's going to take turns guessing the listing price. And then we're going to see who gets the closest answer without going over. That person's going to get 1 point for being the closest and 3 points if they could get the exact number. And Chris, if you win, you're going to get a free Golden State Invitational t-shirt. And yeah, any questions before we get started?
Ready.
You want? No?
You know what? Not a question, but
Yeah.
last week Trevor won, and we really didn't make a big deal about it, and he was a little upset. So congrats to Trevor for winning last week.
He's like
And
22 years old. Get over it.
I was gonna say.
If I remember correctly, we don't actually think he cheated last week, right?
I think it was
He
pretty
won?
legit.
I mean,
Yeah.
congrats, I guess. Whatever.
The brother
Moving
of
on.
God.
Just wanted to give him a little 10
Yeah.
seconds of fame.
Yeah, that's fine. Here is an International 1466. It is for the 466 Limited Pro class. I believe it's somewhere in Colorado. No expense spared. It's loaded with premium parts and power to back it up. It's got a Hartz turbo, Hartz P7100 injection pump, 5-speed Atlas transmission, triple disc clutch, fiberglass hood. Pretty sweet tractor. He says it's been carefully built and maintained. It's a strong runner with top tier pulling components, and it's ready to go straight to the track. It's a pretty good looking one. Looks like they have two of them based on the pictures. This one's the Chaotic, I believe. And yeah, pretty cool little tractor in Colorado, I believe. Dad, why don't you start us off here? What do you think?
Oh, man. 130,000.
130.
Ooh.
Steve?
You know, you'd think as long as we've been doing this, I'd have some concept of what this should cost. I don't.
I don't either, to be honest.
I feel like my brother is his guess is high. I'm at 75,000.
75. Okay. Kev?
I'll go 85.
85. I think that was a record for the fastest answer we've ever gotten out of Uncle Kev.
I had nothing to say
Yes.
about this. I have no idea.
It's very close. It's very close.
I've got some coming up you'll have something to say about. Chris?
I think I'm going to have to go with 125.
125. Okay, well, now feels like a good time to mention the rule that I didn't write on the previous page.
God damn it.
And it's written between the lines here. I don't know if you can see it, but it says that
Oh, no.
if everyone goes over, then I get a point. And this one was
No way.
70,000.
Really?
Oh, deal, dude.
Steve,
And it
you were
runs?
close. Definitely close. But
My first guess was 55, and Brian made me think I was out of my mind.
yeah.
Well, I
sometimes
don't know.
you gotta
Why do you, Steve?
shout out
I've gotten
to-
0 points the last 5 games.
Yeah, but you know more about this stuff than I do. I mean, maybe not.
Clearly
Really
not.
not.
I mean, based
What
on
did you
that.
say?
At that
Steve?
price,
I thought
If John
55. I
Spielman's
said
still watching
75.
it-
I was.
Oh, you were
Jaybird
like
got the point.
5,000 too
Yeah.
much, dude.
Well,
Hey,
Just like
I don't have a live scoreboard this time. I have a paper towel, but
Okay.
as you can see, I have 1 point right now. So
Good job, James.
I'm in the lead.
Wait,
way to go,
if
James.
John Spielman's still watching, well, even if he's not, James, you need to send this ad to him because for that price, hell, he could have a tractor done.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that'd be nice. So this next one here, a little different. It's a DeLorean, 1983.
Ooh.
And
Yes.
I think I've said before, like there was a record of like the longest listing I've ever seen. This one was like, it was 3,000 words. I put it into a Word document. I don't even know how, like, Facebook doesn't have a limit apparently.
1,000 words?
Yeah.
That's a.
It was literally like you could scroll forever and it was all this guy, like clearly a DeLorean nerd. So
I
keep that
appreciate
in
you
mind.
not reading that whole thing to us.
I didn't have the lung capacity. But this is a DeLorean, 1983. It's got 1,543 miles, museum quality, basically new. He says it's always garaged. It's been in his private collection in a climate-controlled garage for the past 5 years. And it is as good as it gets. It's got the preferred 5-speed manual and black interior. And he listed just about every other nut and bolt that's in the car, but we won't go through that. So anyways, a little different here. Pretty unique collector's
Did it say
item.
anywhere if it was in Back to the Future or not?
I know.
I
Does
don't
it have
believe
a
this
flux
one was.
capacitor? Or no?
It
That's what it's
probably has
missing.
the flux capacitor. Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's gonna-
museum quality, so probably.
It's gonna affect the price.
Yeah, I would say you should price it like it has the flux capacitor for sure.
Okay.
Steve, what do you think?
Well, first of all, a few months ago, an elderly lady asked me if my truck was a DeLorean truck.
Well,
Hmm.
and
Did you say
I told
yes?
her, yes,
Yeah,
it is.
I did. I said yes, and I did not engage in conversation after that.
But it's from the
Um,
future.
Right. So going back to the future, I think this is $33,000.
33. Okay. Kev?
I think it's probably worth about 20, but the amount of words you said this
Mhm.
guy's used,
How are you thinking about it?
he thinks it's worth 100,000.
Okay. Chris?
I was gonna say it's probably worth about 15, but let's try 35. 35,000.
Okay. Steve, that's not great for you. Just
It's
saying that.
really not.
Dad?
What did Steve say? 33?
He said 33.
I'm the
You're in the
last one.
ballpark.
Yep.
$1.
$1. Okay.
That's a direct shot at James.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James, you're not winning.
But-
That's
well,
bullshit, Brian. That
I
was
could tell you I had no shot at this one anyways.
No shit.
Uncle Kev, you thought about this entirely correctly. $109,950.
That is not
Wow.
worth that, though.
Yeah.
Those are
For
not
something that
worth
would probably
money.
fall apart if you drove it more than 3,000 miles.
Well, yeah, that would be twice as. We would make it 3 times as many miles as it's ever driven.
Yep. It's true.
Wow. Well, good for me.
Yep, good for you, and that is true. So Kev and I currently tied 1 point each.
Nice.
Up next here, something you guys are probably a little more familiar with. We've got this Pro Mod truck.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
Oh, dang, girl.
he purchased it a few months ago, thinking he would have time to pull it. Unfortunately, doesn't have time.
Hmm.
You guys probably have a pretty good idea of the truck and
Does
its
it-
history.
I question
That was the whole listing, huh?
That was it. Yeah.
I question this. Like the guy 3 months ago thought he would have time, and now he's like, "Oh, guess I don't."
Yeah, he probably got a good deal on it, but yeah. So
But
Kev,
yeah, I don't even think it was 3 months, Steve.
Oh,
yeah, it was. I'm hoping you guys haven't seen this one or don't remember it if you have. Kev,
I haven't seen it, but I feel like I've heard about it. And it was
I'm
a
just
pretty
super
round
glad I
number.
go last on this one because I got nothing.
you want to throw out a number?
I want it. Well, I mean, I don't want to sound. I think it's $30,000.
30,000. Chris?
That's the Time Bandit, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go with 45,000.
Dad?
30,000.
30,000.
Yeah, this might be a tie.
Steve?
I would also like to bet 30,000.
Okay.
Would you
Well-
like to redo your bet,
Chris,
Chris?
you want to change your?
Let's
Yeah.
give Chris a chance.
Chris, you want to you can revise to any number you want.
39,999.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can tell you it was, in fact, 30,000.
Ooh.
I wasn't sure. I shouldn't have put it because,
No, that's okay. These
Yeah.
other guys cheated. They followed me.
yeah, it's
No,
true.
that's what
So-
I was going to guess from the beginning for sure.
Chris
If,
did an
if we
honest
know the guy's,
guess.
if we know the
I'm
guy's name, can that be the tiebreaker?
Let's go in the
Uh,
same order.
No. How about that?
Brian goes
Uh,
first.
We'll just, I really hate doing this, but everyone's going to get a point except for me.
That's
for
fair.
that one because
That's fair.
I shouldn't have put this listing. So Chris
No,
also gets
it
a
was
point.
a good guess.
Chris, Kev, Steve.
I've seen it in full disclosure, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay,
Also,
well,
anybody looking to get into pulling seems like a pretty good deal.
It
it
actually
does
really
seem like
does.
a great deal, and it's a
I would
very
agree.
nice looking truck.
It's a beautiful
So-
truck.
Yeah, definitely
Somebody needs to
I'm
grab
happy to
that.
send the link to anybody who needs it. All right, so now first half of the show or the game, normally pretty tame. This one is going to get a little weirder possibly than we have gone before.
Nice. I like.
So we're going to ease into it. So first one here is a boxing ring. It's in good
dude.
condition.
Oh, I like that.
And
Is it
it
small
was
from
used for less than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. But
Is
pretty cool.
regulation
And
size?
I have never seen a boxing ring before on Marketplace. And I've seen just about everything. So
Wow. This is a
Yeah.
good one.
I don't have the square footage or any other thing. I don't know anything else about it, but
Less than 2 years old, though.
it is
Or
less
only
than 2
used
years
for
old,
less than
and it's
2 years.
in
Pretty
good
new.
condition. So, Chris, what do you think?
Oh, me,
Box?
huh? Ugh. I haven't
for
bought
s-
any boxing rings in a while.
Yeah. It's been a while for me too. I'll tell you though, Chris, you should be glad that you're going first this time and not the next time.
Oh, okay. It just gets weirder, huh?
Oh, way weirder. Yeah,
Let's go with 1,500.
1,500. Okay, Dad.
Oh shit! I thought there were more than that. I was gonna say 10,000.
10,000.
But I have no idea. I've never been in a boxing room.
Oh wow. 10,000. Steve.
I'm 6,000.
6,000. Kev.
Ooh, this is tough.
Also, if it's 1,500, I'm gonna buy it.
Okay.
No, but I was thinking 10 too before Brian said it. He's the highest,
Yep. Yes.
and below that, it's kind of spread. You guys are gonna get it. I'm gonna give him a little room here. I'm gonna go $10,004.
Lots of room.
Such a dick.
Well, hey, could have been worse. I'll tell you though, I don't think it makes a difference because this one was listed for $5,000.
Oh.
So Chris, first
Whoa.
Good
yeah,
job, Chris.
Dang,
Good job,
1,500.
Chris.
Nice.
You get
Well
it.
done.
Steve, are you still considering it?
I'll make you a hell of a deal,
No.
Steve.
No, I can't do it for 5,000. But like 1,500, I would find a use for it.
Okay, that's fair.
Like a boxing match?
Yeah, that.
Put it in the street.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
live in a cul-de-sac. We could definitely make it work.
Oh,
would
dude,
be
it's
pretty
made for a
sweet, yeah.
boxing match. I mean, a boxing ring.
Yeah.
Anyway, not gonna happen.
well, to sum up the score right now, Chris, Kevin, both with 2 points. Myself,
Nice.
Steve, and Dad trailing just behind with 1 point. It's anybody's game. Any of
Really
us can
is.
win.
This is
Now-
a tight one.
This one
good.
is one of the weirder listings I've ever had on the show. Here is a taxidermy hyena from Africa.
Oh wow.
It was originally from Tanzania. It was taxidermied over 20 years ago, and it's had a little bit of wear and tear, so we'll need a little bit of work, but it's in really good
From what?
condition. That's what I was thinking. The base is rollable, so it's easy to move around, and it's pretty big, almost 4 feet long, just under 3 feet tall. So I'd say the size of a large dog.
Ooh.
And they are downsizing, don't have room for it anymore. There was probably about 15 more pictures of this lady up top holding a
What is
chain.
that lady doing?
I don't know, but
She's walking that some bitch. She's on a leash.
yeah, there was a lot of
She
like
is
photo
weird.
shoot looking pictures of her and the
For
hyena.
sure.
So
That's called
These
clickbait.
people are into some weird shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, this
I
one
don't
is,
know if it should have any wear and
Is
tear
that
on it
what a-
either.
Like, I've never seen a hyena in real life. Is that
It
what
looks
they
like
look
that.
like, or they shaved
Yeah.
this thing?
That one looks like it's from Wish.com or Temu or something.
It's an ugly
Yeah.
son of a bitch, I'll tell you.
yeah.
I mean,
They cut
I
some
would have thought
corners
they had
on
a
it.
little
Kinda like
bit
a
longer
pig and a
fur,
dog.
but that's also just normal wear and tear on a hyena. I think everybody knows that.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
A
it's
little
20,
bit
it's got
wear
20
and tear.
years.
Yeah.
Gonna have
Most
things like that.
taxidermy stuff just either sit on the wall or sit on display. Like, how do you have wear and tear on it? What do they try to?
Well, this one she
Well,
takes
well,
for
that-
walks.
Clearly,
That
she
lady
walks it
does
around.
stuff.
Yeah,
She's weird.
Yeah,
I bet they play
That's
fetch.
weird
They
shit in
wrestle.
this world.
It does roll.
does roll.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Dad,
Huh.
it's on you.
That'd make a hell of a hood ornament, huh?
Hmm.
Can you imagine?
No. I have no idea. I've never had anything taxidermied,
Oh,
but I
God.
think it's expensive.
Yeah.
And then a hyena from
From Africa too.
20 years ago.
Mm.
I mean,
It does have a little bit of wear and tear though. Got to keep that in
I
mind.
know. I'm taking that into account. I'm gonna just round it off and say 5,000. No
Okay.
idea. Yeah.
Steve,
I
any
gotta give some credit to the
taxidermy
taxidermist here because, like, this is very lifelike. If you just told me,
Oh,
look,
yeah.
I took a picture of
Sure.
my weird looking dog, I'd be like, yeah, that's an alive weird looking dog.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Uh-oh.
Like,
Got
this
a good
is well
stance
done.
going on too. Yeah.
At
So
the
what do you
same
think,
time,
price-wise?
I'm gonna come in low again. I think 2,500.
2,500. Okay. Kev?
Yeah, I wouldn't have any idea. I'm going to say 3,000.
3,000. All right, Chris.
3,000, yeah.
Uh, 1,800.
1,800. You ever taxidermied anything before?
I have not.
Well, let's see here.
Funny question.
2,500. Uncle
Was that what I
Steve.
said?
Uncle
Whoa,
Steve
Steve.
said 2,500 exactly.
Dang.
Yes.
3 points.
Uncle Steve getting that.
He's gonna have a boxing
That was
ring
a
and
good
a
one.
hyena.
I know.
My-
That's going to be a sweet gem. Yeah. This guy hanging from the wall or something. Well,
That's awesome.
Just rolling around outside the.
yeah. 3 points,
Thanks.
Uncle Steve.
Awesome.
Which
Do I get to
Jordan
take
was
the
pretty
lead?
close on that
And
one.
first place with 4 points. Kevin and Chris
Pretty dominant lead at this point.
just behind with 2 points. Me and Dad trailing in third place with 1 point. Now we're on to the last listing of the night. I will tell you there is a location for this one. It's going to be pretty tough. Again, one of the weirder listings. And actually, this one is kind of a reverse listing. This lady here is looking for a car. She
Uh-oh.
desperately needs a car to go to work because sitting at home isn't her thing. So she listed the budget that she is willing to pay for her
Oh, wow.
new daily driver. So not exactly
This is
a product
this
that
is
I'm
next
showing
level,
you.
James.
Yeah, you really got to think about this. And I do have the location. So based off of kind of just
Okay.
her looks,
Are we profiling here?
Okay.
I think this is called profiling for
All right.
sure.
A little bit.
But that's okay. It's okay. So
Wow,
Steve,
this is interesting.
this seems right up your alley. What do you think that we'll start with just the price? What do
Okay.
you think she's willing to pay for her new car?
I mean, it's tough. Also, just so you guys
Yeah.
know, Sarah's going to be leaving. I'm not going to say the location because that's going to weigh into my guess later. But she's leaving college, and
God,
actually, I
Jordan.
should do that because all of you know except for Chris. She's going to be out of North Carolina, and we got to get rid of her car, and it's kind of not worth a lot. So,
Okay.
I'm looking for somebody who's
I want
looking
to get
for
a
a
hold of this
car.
gal
I think I might.
Yeah.
I
in North Carolina.
Well, that will maybe
We'll get to that
eventually be my
later.
guess. For right now, I mean, I think she knows that she needs to put down some real money for a car that's going to run all the time. I'm going to come
Does she?
in at, I think so.
Right.
I'm going to come in at half of my previous guess and say $1,250.
Okay. 1,250. Kev?
Hey, James, can you see the comment or no?
No, I cannot.
Justin says, call her and sell her the van.
No, the van's worth it's
Way out of her price range.
Kev. We'll talk about the van in a second, but Kev.
Okay.
Kev, can you hear me?
Is he frozen?
Oh, sorry. No,
Yeah, he said
thing
Kev
cuts
4
out, and
times
I
'cause
missed
he
you
wants
guys
you to
for
guess.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh, no, sorry. Your picture disappeared. What were the? I missed all the things. What did they say?
Nobody said anything. It's your bet.
The numbers?
No, nothing
Steve
yet.
said 1250.
James.
She looks to me like she got about $800 for a car.
$800.
Good
Okay.
guess.
I'm gonna turn my. If I disappear, get me back. I'm gonna turn my Wi-Fi off.
Okay.
Shit,
Chris,
I'm
what do you
not-
think?
How much is a bus pass? I feel like that's what she can afford. 1350.
$1350. Dad?
See me?
I think she likes to work and she's been saving her money. I think she's got 1,500.
1,500. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go reverse order. So, Dad, kick us off with the location.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. You want to get specific or just Louisiana?
What was the name of that town that
Bastrop.
Lonnie was?
Bastrop.
Huh?
Bastrop.
Bastrop.
Yeah, wherever Lonnie's from.
All right.
Fuck, that's
Steve?
a good guess. Jesus
I'm
Christ,
sorry.
that was a good guess.
Chris.
I was gonna go with either Modesto or Stockton.
Okay.
Let's
You
go
can
Modesto.
both. You
Modesto.
literally you can have them both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you a both. Close enough. All right. Kev, location.
I'm gonna say looks like she's standing by either an Airstream or like a drive-through window.
Yeah.
Oh no, you know what? It's a mobile home. Well,
Yeah.
it's hard to
Could
tell.
be.
She's in Southern California, I think.
Southern California.
Hmm.
Okay.
I mean, there's some desert communities where that could very well be the case.
Steve.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Gotcha.
We can only hope.
Yeah, seriously. Also, can I have her number? Well, wait. Let's find out. Let's find out if I was right about those things first.
Well, I have to say, out of one of you here, this is one of the most impressive things that I've ever seen in the history of the show. And it wasn't from Steve, Dad, or Chris. It was Kevin. $800, Yucca Valley, Southern California.
Oh, you mean
No.
you didn't
Where's
realize he
Yucca
was
Valley?
cheating?
Southern
Uh-huh.
Yucca
California,
Valley
like in the
Southern
desert,
California?
like Southern Desert, California.
Well, I'm gonna say I nailed that.
I'm gonna say you literally. I mean, there. I
See,
don't.
this is
believe that
usually
there's-
where you would accuse him of cheating.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I don't believe there's any sort of way whatsoever where you could find this listing. So
And I was gonna say $650, and then I bumped it up because I feel like she got a nice shirt on. She knows what's up.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you 3 points for each of those guesses because
it's, a,
thank you.
it's worth
That
it.
was-
It's worth all of that.
that was
That's
incredible.
a 6-point round.
That was
Whoa.
a 6-point round. So, Kev, that puts you at 8 points to
Oh,
Steve's
wow.
4 points and Chris's 2 points.
Oh, that's dominance.
Kevin, first place. Steve, second place. Chris, third place. Wow. I mean, I'm at a loss of words right now. This is
I'm a little
You must
shocked
know
too.
her.
That is impressive.
that was pretty incredible.
It was nice work.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thank you.
Well done.
those are all of the listings I have for tonight. Thanks
Good
again
job, Jay.
for letting me do that.
Awesome job, Jay. That last one was fun. That was
a good
That
one.
was like reverse.
Incredible. I cannot believe you got that.
No,
That was
me
definitely-
neither. But the whole we had to guess what she's willing to pay.
She also I think she changed it to sold, so she must have found a car. Steve, sorry.
Oh, God.
No, that's okay. I mean, honestly, I'm not bringing this thing out here for $800.
Steve's car's on the wrong coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go back. Jordan Taylor asked a while back, are we going to have super stock this year at GSI? Super stock diesel, I'm pretty sure he's asking about. I hope so. A good friend of ours has one now, and Cody Lee from Texas, they were here last year with their Limited Pro. I think they would like to bring their super stock out. I'd love to have them, but we just don't have any out here yet. So we're working on that. So want to, if it's okay, throw this up there again. We've gotten through Chowchilla this Sunday, Silver Dollar Fair in Chico. In June, we head to Stockton for Ag Fest on the 13th. The following weekend, 3 nights, 20th, 21st, 22nd, Alameda County Fair in Pleasanton. The following Friday is Willits. Then we'll take July off. August, we will hit the Redwood Empire Fair in Ukiah on the 2nd. And then the 22nd, I believe we will be in Gridley. The 23rd, Fallon for the Cantaloupe Festival. Finish out August with the Tri-County Fair in Winnemucca. The next weekend, we head up to Santa Rosa for the West Coast Diesels. Always a great event. Then the next weekend, back to Stockton. Finish out September at the Souza Memorial Truck Show. October 5th, we'll be in Hollister at the San Benito County Fair, technically Tres Pinos, I should say. The following weekend, the 11th, will be the Modesto Junior College Pool. And then November 7th and 8th, we wrap it all up with the Golden State Invitational. Quite a summer ahead of us.
All I heard there is we have a lot of pulling to do.
We have a lot of pulling to do. And we need to not tear shit up because that's going to
June's going to be a rough
summer.
month, huh? Hello.
Yeah.
That's why you got all of
rough.
July off. That's why you got July off.
Take July off. Hey, speaking of that, we mentioned it one night. I don't know if we ever talked about it, but the second Monday of July, our family is going on a little cruise to Mexico. So we're going to try to do a what do we call it? A boat cast or a cruise cast? Cruise cast.
I feel like we're going to try something clever.
Cruise. We'll come up with a cool name.
We'll come up with something cool. Not sure if we're even going to be able to do it, but we will be having a good time nonetheless. Chris, I want to thank you for making time and joining us, and thanks for supporting our events. Congratulations on your win. You're undefeated this year.
Yeah, keep it up.
Nice.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for all your hard work.
Keep that streak going.
Yeah. Appreciate you being out there, and I love the story that you just went and watched and decided, hell with it, you're going to do it. And
eventually you get tired of just watching.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I guess it's safe to assume you've replaced the daily driver with something else.
Yeah, I have several vehicles. Yeah, I have that. Good. I have that. I suffer from that too, just buying crap. So
yeah,
attaboy.
Yep. Yeah, James, you know anybody like that? Too many vehicles?
Nope. All mine run.
Yeah, somewhat.
I don't have any vans, but
you're missing out. I'll sell you one.
Not yet.
You always got to have a goal, right?
Yeah.
You know, one thing we didn't get a picture of, but that trailer that you're building is pretty badass. You put a camper on a gooseneck, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a truck bed camper on the front of a gooseneck.
Oh, that's great.
And then the Hulk can ride on the back.
Yeah. Eventually.
When I was talking to him in Chowchilla, he was sitting in his pickup, and I said, "Where's the camper trailer?" He goes, got to get a bigger pickup for that. He's in like an F550, and I'm like, holy shit, you need a bigger pickup than this? So,
yeah, no, that's the work truck. So,
yeah,
I need a big personal truck.
There you go. So, cool. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Appreciate it, Kevin, Steve, James. Thanks again for doing this, and
thanks, guys.
We look forward to seeing everybody Sunday in Chico. If you can't make that, a couple weeks later, we'll be in Stockton on the 13th. So hope everybody has a great week, and We have a great season ahead of us. So have a good night. Thank you for watching.
Thank you,
Hey
guys.
guys.
Nice
Thanks,
to meet you, Chris.
See ya.
Congrats on winning, Kevin.
Hey.